Chief Whip.
Thank you, Chair, for recognizing me. Honorable Whip, asking this question not to question your competence at all. Far from that. I know you very well. I know you can do the job. However, I hear, and often I've heard colleagues on the other side brandishing $10 million push. You're holding as a low, yes, $10 billion. You're holding as a low-lying fruit. Now, my question to you, my good friend, is, you've already shown some regret, the extent of the depth, the situation of the depth, which you have regretted well enough, and we've heard you loud and clear. You've also said that you will sit with the finance minister to be in the context of the situation you have at hand. Now, how will you draw the balance of implementation in terms of the 10 billion, mind you, it's not only for roads, broad spectrum infrastructure. So you have so-called abandoned roads, and then people of Adaklu also come to you after you have been approved. I know you are aware of that. And you'll be coming to the House more often than any minister to answer questions. You are aware of that. How would you draw the balance? So-called abandoned roads and new urgent road needs that also need to be attended to. Don't forget, you have already said that there's no money. And then you are also going to work closely with the so-called the finance minister.
Honorable members, I drew the attention of the House to the fact that for a stated reason, I asked the Marshal to be here. So if any friend of the committee will not remain in silence, then I will be forced to apply the rules. Please, 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 honorable members. Please, Honorable Yusuf.
You see, I'm just talking about your big push. And you are not tolerant to listen.
Honorable Kennedy Osenyako, let's listen to the questions being asked. Honorable Alasan Soini, please.
Mr. Chair, so my good friend, Honorable Agbodza, very passionate about the concerns of roads and the challenges. This big push, which I know you are very excited about, and it finds good expression in your manifesto. Yes. Or you are nodding your head? No, my question is, how would you get the balance? We have roads in your own description and beautifully captured by Honorable Mutala, abandoned roads. And then you also have new roads needs. How are you going to get the balance? Are you going to, already you have said that your first year, you will focus on. My question is, how are you going to get the balance? Then again, I'm not done. Mr. Chairman, I'm not done.
Honorable members, I want us to listen to the question in silence. But Honorable Chief Whip, this Honorable Chief Whip, Honorable Chief Whip, Honorable Chief Whip, this is about the third or fourth time we are going to hear the word, how are you going to balance the new rules as against the abandoned rules? So if that is your question, put it to, so that he can proceed to answer the question. I beg you.
Speaker, with respect to you, I'm old enough to speak for myself. I only employ my colleagues to be tolerant. You had the opportunity, Honorable Muntala. I know you want to be seen on the screen, and so that you can get the attention of Mr. P.
Mr. Chairman.
Please, Honorable Muntala, you don't have the floor.
No, but Mr. Chairman,
please, you don't have the floor.
No.
Please.
It's point of order.
Please.
It's point
Honorable Chief Whip. Honorable Chief Whip.
It's point of order.
Go ahead and ask your question. Please, Honorable Chief Whip, I'm begging you.
It's point of order.
Honorable Whip. So how do you get the balance? Abandoned, so-called abandoned roads, and the new ones which may be of good importance.
Why should I?
How are you going to get the balance? Yes.
Mr. Chairman, it's point of order. It's important. It is important you allow me to speak out.
Honorable Muntala, you do not have the floor.
So
I still insist that you don't have the floor.
Say that.
Ask your question.
Yeah, Chairman, my colleague, a very good friend, Minority Whip, is right. And let me state it again. The projects that we are going to prepare for Big Push are not for abandoned projects, small projects. I already said they are the key big intervention projects. For instance, there has been on the drawing board for some time an orbital around Accra, which goes Chopoli all the way to Bujumbura. That project, over 100 kilometers of road, makes a significant intervention in terms of traffic management within the Accra itself. That project ought to be prepared properly, costed, make sure value for money is done, and then presented to the finance minister for funding. At the same time, it is the responsibility of finance ministry to continue funding projects that are on site. So Big Push is not about completing the projects already on site, but the major intervention project that can actually pay for itself, that can actually make huge impact on the country. So that is the difference. So we're not going to stop ongoing projects. The president has already made a commitment to that. However, the Big Push projects are dedicated and significant projects that are not going to be rushed, but are going to be done effectively so that all Ghanaians will get the impact of those projects. So that is the difference between the Big Push basket of projects, which are yet to be developed, and ongoing projects.
Thank you very much. Honorable Muntala, do you have any more questions? You are entitled to one last question. It is now the turn of Honorable Kofi Mafo.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I want to congratulate my ranking, who is now the Chief Whip. I want to congratulate him for his nomination. I heard him saying that for him, the 100 billion debt, the 20 billion, and then the 15 billion, and then 665 million interest. For him, he considered that part as waste of funding. I want to ask him, when he said wasted funds, I want to ask him, what does he mean by that?
Thank you, my good friend. I call you Kofi, but today, Honorable Kofi Mafo. The reason I say it's a wasted fund is this. If we owe 113 million, and because we are unable to pay, the interest on the 113 million is now 665 million. What it means is that the 665 million is a waste to the people of this country, because that money is not 665 million Ghana cedi worth of road works. It's just the 30% compounding interest on the unpaid certificate. That is what it is. Ghanaians get 113 million worth of road, but they pay extra 665 million extra money for nothing. As interest. There can't be a waste bigger than that. And I'm not saying it's peculiar. It only started today. It is the way road construction contracts are put together in this country. There's something wrong with it. It is not the fault of even the contractors, because I earlier said they borrow money to do this work. If we were to pay them on time, there wouldn't have been the interest compounding. So I don't even blame them, because the 665 doesn't even go to them. Perhaps they borrowed money from the bank, and they have to give them that money back to the bank. So the only winners in this case might be the banks. But is a road ministry supposed to be a source of good business for a bank this way? Yes, they can be good business, but not in this format. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Your second question, or you have a follow-up?
A follow-up.
Okay.
Yeah, Mr. Nominee. Yes, I want to ask you, if you become the minister, what are you going to do differently?
Yes, okay. Yeah.
So that 665 million wasted funds will be...
Well, my answer to that, I've already provided that. As for payment, it is the Ministry of Finance job to find the money. But what I can do to help, and as I stated earlier, is to bring together the stakeholders, contractors and everybody. I am sure if we were to call contractors and sit down with them and say, look, this debt, frankly speaking, the finance minister, who is the leader of the house, has already stated, if all the taxes we collect is 200 million, a billion, you can't hand over all that to just one ministry. And if you keep that money on the books, it keeps getting worse. So maybe, we need to sit down with all the stakeholders to see where we cut our losses. Do we agree with them? We pay you off a certain amount of money. If you owe a bank, we can draw the bank in. After all, did we not see the whole country try to negotiate debt that is owed, even individuals? So I think that the time has come for us to bring together all players in the road sector to see how we can make this sustainable. You see, if government keep owing and we are not paying, we are not even a better customer to the contractor. That is why today you call some contractors, want to award them work, they will tell you it's better to sleep than to take the job. Because they take the job and he's got debt on his head. So we need to make construction attractive business to recruit and give employment to young people, especially those in the technical fields, engineers and everything. At the moment, that is not happening. So we'll sit down with the stakeholders to see, maybe the committee can get involved, as we call the stakeholders, and chart a new path. Surely, this is not sustainable. We can't continue this way.
Thank you. Any further questions?